Now, to conclude this module, there are some tweaks which we can apply on the backend. In the places controller, for example, when we create a new place here, we're extracting the ID of the user to whom the place belongs from the request body. Now, actually keep in mind that we protect this create place route here. In places routes, we can only get to this route if we are authenticated. And in the check off middleware, I am extracting the user ID and I'm storing it on this user data object on the request. So actually it's better to not get the ID from the front-end user where invalid ID could be provided, but instead to rely on the ID we extracted from the token, which has to be attached anyways and which can't be faked. So here when I create a new place, creator will be request userdata.userid to use this automatically extracted ID, which we get here in the check off middleware. This is a better approach of getting the ID instead of getting it as part of the request body. Now, just to avoid confusion, in the places routes here, where we need a user ID to get all the places for a user, that ID should still be part of the URL because you're able to get places of any user, to see places of any user, not just your own places. If we would get the user ID from the attached token, we would only see our own places because that then is the only user ID we know. So here, this should be part of the URL still. Now, another tweak I want to make is that I want to ensure that whenever we return user-related data, we actually omit the password. But I think we already are doing that. So here in the places controller, we're returning a message here. Here I return the place converted to an object, but there I got no user data mixed in, it's just the place data. In create place in the end, I return the created place, but again there we got just the user ID as part of the place, not the full user object. For find or get places by user ID, we do populate places on the user, but what I return then is just my array of places, which again just has a user ID then, and not the user data besides that. And for get place by ID, we also just return the place. Now in the user controller, when we sign up, I return user ID, email, and token. When we log in, sorry. When we sign up, I return the same though. And when we get all users, I return all my user data, but I already exclude the password here with projection. So we're already doing the right thing here and we're never sending any confidential data over the wire here. And with that, I'm happy with the setup. Now we just need to reflect this change we made in the places controller, where we now get the user ID differently in the front end. Because now in the front end, we can adjust our code and make sure that when we add a new place here in new place.js, we no longer add the creator field to the request because we're not interested on it on the backend anyways. And with that, let's give it a try. MERN 2. There only is one, but still. Let's use the right address and the good old image we used before. If I now click add place, this fails. So let's see why it failed. If we go to the backend, I print null here. Yeah, of course, it fails because I'm still using creator here to find a user by ID. Here, of course, I now also have to use the ID which is part of the request. Creator is not received anymore. So with that, however, we should be fine. Let's quickly search for creator here. This is all in different contexts, so this should be working now. If we save this and we simply resend this on the front end, now it works. Now we got two places here on manual. Can also delete the place, of course. And we got a working application with a little bit of a cleaner backend.